Greet.
I'm glad you finally accepted my invitation.
Good health to you, sir. I'm Godwin.
Baron Vauquelin-Brabant. I am a warrior, a traveler, a strategist.
My word.
Mais non! And I'm glad.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Baron. Where have you been on your trip?
But of course! If you are interested in my greatest journeys, then I have. And if you are interested in my greatest deed, then.
And you wouldn't by any chance know the...
Which one do you mean? I spoke briefly with Boniface the Knight.
How did you end...
Ah, c'est une histoire compliquée. It was a... And only lost it never...
That needs some...
Oh, misère.
So... These...
When they broke through the defense, I ended...
Oh?
My neck, but...
You say you...
Jamais. I...
The Jewish...
Good day to you. God be with you.
Such rare guests. One wouldn't expect to find among Christians represent... I'm Godwin.
Peace be with you. Neither would one expect...
How do you know I'm a priest?
It's not difficult to tell. And we are both a little unfamiliar. I'm Yehuda, leader, and this is...
Who would rather not be here at all? Why did we have to come here, Sadie? Can you not see everyone is staring?
Because we all need to help each other. And why would they not stare?
Do you want to make use of the council to improve the status?
Not at all. However, the situation in the town and the kingdom is you have men and weapons.
Why are you telling this to a Koimer? You wanted to deliver what we brought to the Margrave and quickly leave.
Everything in good time, Samuel.
Did you come to lend money to the...
Not to lend, but to give. Help given to the needy.
You don't even know if you can trust them. With that money, we could have paid mercenaries.
You remind me of my young friend Henry.
Henry? That...
You know each other.
That would be him. We did not get off to a very...
Well, maybe you'll get to know each other better. For a young stripling, he's been through plenty. He was a...
Wait. From Scarlet's?
Aye, that's right.
I knew of someone.
My daughter knew him most, and that is what...
Maybe he was my father, but he certainly didn't act like one.
And that was all...
Why? He should have taken care of me, but instead he...
Don't make hasty judgments. As far as I... At least, none of his own. He took in Henry, and raised him as his own. On the old Henry's...
I don't care if he took care of 20...
That boy's blood father denied him.
A person can't choose their parents. And Henry only found out about it...
Enough. I'd rather have a drink.
For that, there will be more...
excuse me. I'd...
Better communion wine than kosher.
Dear friends and allies, in these troublesome times, you all know why we're here. The question remains, what to do next? Sigismund is facing troubles in Hungary, and here, too, he is up against resistance. He's a capable strategist, but a poor diplomat. Mark my words. If we wait him out until winter, he will leave of his own accord.
By winter, he'll have torched all our fortresses and carried off everything that we possess.
Are we seriously? Are we gonna wait and cower in a corner? Or are we gonna drive them out in shame? A few well-planned raids and we could have him in our fists!
At what price? Have you got men to spare? Has any of you got men and money to spare?
We don't have men out there.
Yes, we do.
We do not.
Jobst is right. That whole sun won't fall easily.
Only we can't wait.
Are we to get ourselves killed?
Or end with nothing.
Friends, we'll get nowhere like this. Let's adjourn ourselves and try to think it through.
Well, that went just as expected. Good health.
And to yours. Could it have gone any other way when the sun...
I would have expected a bit more sense. He made an amateur's mistake. But it's hard to be... By the way, I'm John of Lichten.
That's not a thing I've ever boasted of.
I have my... From what I've heard about you, I'd...
Is that so?
Indeed. And that's why I...
It depends.
A little delicate. I expect we can agree that Jobst's plan has...
That's a weak word.
And the way it stands at the moment, he'll never get the...
Well, I'm curious how...
We'll sit and wait quietly until Sigismund withdraws of his own volition, but we'll be waiting in the military camp of our huge...
When Sigismund sees that, he'll be off to Hungary all the sooner.
Exact. Sigismund's army is demoralized and weakened. And besides, he's able to tackle fortresses that aren't able to defend themselves.
But he can't retreat either.
And that's exactly why we'll wait until he's called back to Hungary by events there. For the plan to work, we need allies, their money and their determination. We just need negotiators who will push the right people in the right
Are
time.
you saying you set everything in...
More like in parallel. If we find support and make it look like the whole thing was his...
You've got an interest...
You're certainly not the first to tell me that.
Why are you doing all this?
Because I want to put a stop to the senseless death. And also because I'm happier with Wenceslas.
I'll help you.
I'll give you 3 names. Botchek of Kunstadt, if you can get those 3 on our side. Meanwhile...
Tell me a bit more about those.
Certainly. Who do you...
Alder the Alderman.
He still is. Only he... But he'll...
Botchek.
That's just the thing. He doesn't play... He always...
Anna of Waldstein.
Wenzel Bartosz.
I was...
A male. Anna is... But don't...
And what you...
She's as very wicked. And that it was thanks to...
Why me?
Because you've got... You and... There aren't...
I'll get...
I wish us...
I'd rather discuss those...
I'd like to check your horses out.
Ha, even better. But you want...
And you might not believe your...
Well, I wanted to...
You wanted to apologize for crashing into my home without a...
I want to have a word with...
Well, I'm having...
I'll talk to you later, Father.
You're in my home, so you'll talk to me first.
Is that your...
Unfortunate.
What can I get for you?
Grüß Gott.
God be with you, noble lady. There's something I'd like...
God be with you.
Your diplomatic support...
No beating around the bush, eh? I like
Margrave Yob's plan has some gaps, milady.
to muster an army that
Christ!
I should say so. All sorts of people have their eyes on my money. Although, between the two of us, it isn't...
Hit the nail on the head again, Mum.
I am rarely mistaken.
I'd say you have a better nose for people than most of this crowd.
Not only for people, but also for...
Then you're in the right place.
The wine here is average. The cooks lack imagination. So, to the point.
Nothing more than support and resources for an army to parley more effectively.
Nothing more. I'd say that's plenty. And why ask...
It's not only your money we're interested in. You're well able to negotiate and trade. And if you were to take part in our plan...
Then I'd be helpful to you on two fronts. If you want me to support you, you must give me a good reason. Perhaps...
Do you have something in particular in mind?
Well, one of the guests here has...
Who's that?
Haman Al... Now, if you were to switch these papers for the one...
And the papers I'm supposed to...
Just insignificant documents. If the incriminate...
And these papers I'm...
My relatives somehow dug up some trade contracts between myself and certain...
You were dealing with the enemy.
They were not the enemy at the time. My conscience is clear, but I'll rest...
I'm supposed...
Haman Alda was given the documents to He hasn't...
Have you fallen out with...
No. Their discipline, the fact...
All right,
Alda will bring them to me. But watch yourself. Odorim...
I'll tell you, nobody has the likes of these.
Not even Bocek?
Not even Bocek. He's a great lord.
Greetings.
Aren't you a bit bored?
What's your problem?
God forbid...
Not Is that so? Wine. Stop What brings you here?
I just need... You know what?
And what?
Not as...
Take care for now.
Slippery as a bag of...
Even though Yobst is right, I'm in favor of decisive action.
And that's exactly why we mustn't push too hard.
Next time it'll be even better.
I've got those papers from...
Quiet!
My lady, with all the clamour going on here, I can hardly hear the R. You're welcome.
As agreed. I will support...
Thank you.
Yes, quite.
I'd like to, but I'm afraid I've had more...
Wise.
I'd like to check your horses out. See if they're...
Ha! Even better.
And you might not believe your eyes. Well, well, we have a new guest.
I wanted to...
You wanted to apologize for crashing into my home without...
I want to have a word with...
Well,
I apologize, Father.
For interrupting our conversation? Or just for being you?
Is that your...
Unfortunately. Speak up, then. What are you doing here?
I came with a delegation from Sir Hanush of Lipa.
Is this a joke?
Why so strict, Martin?
20 years ago, he was nothing but a cheeky brat, only interested in... I got him a place at the Archbishop, only it wasn't long before. And then, I find out he settled in some back... But he took his boozing and whoring along with him.
Try saying it again a little louder. They might not have heard you in the outer courtyard.
You have the impertinence to show me your face after the...
I wouldn't set foot here if I had a choice. Better to be a priest in some backwater than have...
How
You're as shit a father as I am a son. We've got nothing to blame each other for. And now let me speak to Older.
You're dishonoring your...
I can't dishonor someone who has no honor.
That's enough!
Christopher.
You won't get away with those insults.
I'm not happy about it. This isn't how I imagined my first meeting.
Make room for us. We'll just settle a very private matter. It's an honorable duel, man against man. Stay back.
Stand firm! Otherwise the first strike will put you on your arse! Cover your right side! You've got a gap there I can drive a cart through!
Enough! That will do.
G'day.
My God. Father always said you were a good-for-nothing boozer.
I was in a war. Right after the... And you ought to know yourself. Not all the faults that Father sees.
Aye. Well...
So Father would be satisfied. Only he'll never be satisfied. And the sooner you...
I thought he was the way he was because his first son let him down.
Not at all. When I was 6 years old, I felt he wouldn't talk to me for a week because I'd let...
The first time he took me hunting, he let me starve for 3 days.
Only 3...
I always wondered who you were. There was never...
Look, I really did fuck up everything I could. I brawled and... But now...
And that's why you...
Aye.
That sounds very important. After your encounter with Father... Actually, I don't think you should even attempt it. Unless you want to anger Father even more.
What else can I do?
I'll talk to him myself. He'll hear me out for sure.
All right, then. It's a nice idea, but we can't wait around without an army to back us up.
Only no one's going...
Alder's go...
Leave Alder...
I don't know how to...
You can drag me...
Job's stagnating here. He looks more like a wet hen to me.
Russian, he's setting the stage very fine.
Oh,
good help!
That.
The Lord be with...
Sir Bocek.
A man hardly puts his cup to his lips and Yobs comes up with a plan as full of...
On the contrary.
Does that improvement include a few thousand men-at-arms?
A few thousand men-at-arms as a convincing argument. Only in order to get them.
You've got my attention, but not...
Don't worry, it's not just your money I want to draw on. Believe it or not...
Really? Name it...
Anna of Volstein.
Truly? Well, let's...
I wouldn't mention the word...
All right. I have a lot of property, lots of subjects to look after, and along with that, the Lord bless... I can't risk it all in a
So you need guarantees that you won't be left standing...
My guarantee is called Yitka. If I succeeded in marrying her off to another strong house...
Maybe it's enough to find a suitable groom.
Perhaps someone of suitable standing who Yitka would also gladly accept.
How about...
He's a youngster.
He may be young. He's got battle experience. And when he gets the estate that's his by right...
If he gets it. Right now, Hanush lords over Rattay and seems quite happy. On the other hand, the lords of Lipa have a... Maybe it's...
I'll convey your offer to Lord Capon.
I don't care what the young lord thinks. If he agrees, the kingdom will not forget his sacrifice.
Well, this price... What can you do? Jesus Christ be praised.
I've got some...
The bad news is there's hardly... There's some also at least.
You're going to...
Is she at least... You're really a barrel of luck. No. Enough.
Godwin, we didn't have much...
With pleasure. I couldn't help.
Although,
wise,
you know...
May... Sir Hanush!
You do?
I've gained...
And who is it?
On the contrary, it's...
Kunstad? How the heck?
Well, there's one little cat.
Out with it.
Lord Kunstad has a niece, so...
Hans Capon? Godwin, you cannot...
Oh, fuck.
I don't so... Young Hans?
Niece.
If you're serious, I'll make sure that you get the Rattay parish.
Or you could make me the abbot of Sassa.
Forget it. Soon I'll put a word to Hans. I want to tell him myself.
I'll
Sir Bojack,
A man. Yobs.
on the con...
Does that...
Only...
You've got...
Don't...
Really?
Anna,
Should...
I wouldn't...
Oh, I have... I can...
So...
My... If...
Maybe...
Perhaps...
How would...
He's...
He may...
If I'm made...
So...
You're selling the skin of a boar that's... First, I want to confirm it.
And...
I don't... If he... The king...
Take a look at that.
Sir Hanush...
You do?
Young Lord K...
If he's got some impoverished noble's daughter, I'm not going to say...
You misunderstood my meaning. I mean, with you...
You arranged a marriage for my ward?
With the niece of Sir Bojack.
Bojack of Kudstadt? Godwin, you cannot...
Oh, fuck.
I don't... So, young Hans...
Niece.
If you're serious, I'll make sure that you get the Rattay parish.
Or you could make me the abbot of Sussa.
Oh, forget it. Soon I'll be paying... Not a word to Hans. I want to tell him myself.
Cheer!
Cheers!
May I have...
You, unlike...
Godwin, we didn't have much...
I could...
Although,
Wise...
you know...
Make... What are you...
Well, but, as long...
Where...
Haven't you? No one... Godwin.
Well... Sir Bojack, your niece Yivka can start preparing for her wedding.
So Hanush agreed.
Indeed.
Then I will fulfill my...
Thank you.
Enough formality.
Cheers to the beauty...
Here's to...
You see...
Oh, he's grand. I'd be happier if...
But then you'd miss... It seems Liechtenstein's...
And how's he going to do it?
Well...
The only...
Let's...
And that...
What?
No, that...
Well...
Sigur's not so...
I'm still hoping it works out and we walk out of here with...
Gentlemen, I think we can raise our goblets.
Is this...
Like I said. Tell me.
I bring nothing from the House of Odorin. But the widow of Waldstein...
Both of them.
This is going to be a long story, huh?
It would seem that we have all benefited from the break in these proceedings. New alliances have been formed. And I have also changed my plans. We shall still wait for Sigismund to withdraw his troops of his own accord. But we will wait with an army at our backs.
And how are we to raise an army? Wasn't it made clear at the meeting that no one wants to take the risk?
The only thing made clear was that each of us alone is weak, and that we could not find common ground. But that has now changed.
King Wenceslas is, by the will of God, the Balbatim of all his subjects, not only the Christians. Our community, and not only ours, will give you coin.
The Kuttenberg houses are still loyal to King Wenceslaus, and we stand with Lord Ruthard.
And if that's not enough, the houses of Leipa and Kunstadt will unite and march side by side.
My niece, Yitka, will take young Lord Capon as her husband.
Lords Kunstadt, Hanush, Radzig, and I will set out immediately. God willing, we will be back within 3 weeks, along with an army.
Now those are words worthy of a nobleman.
My friend, I still believe that words are more powerful than swords. And our words will ring in 1,000 voices to the glory of King Wenceslas.
After we conquered the city, you promised to restore order immediately. And then I find out things are even more disordered than before.
Your Majesty, we are sorry. We will put it to rights.
You've already said that. I want to hear real solutions.
We will put more guards on the roads and toughen penalties. We can have a few captured bandits executed as an example to others.
We do not care about bandits. We care about rebellious nobles and burghers. What will you do with them? How will you solve the chaos in the town administration, the rebellious miners, and the dismal yields? And how is it even possible that a rebellion against the king is smoldering here in the city?
What do you mean, sire?
I hear the resistance is coming from the Jewish quarter, from right under your noses. Why haven't you done anything?
We don't know who is behind this. Without evidence, we cannot punish them.
Otto von Berghoff did not ask questions in Prague either. He acted. And I advise you to do the same. Find a couple of wretches in a hole somewhere, point them to the Jewish quarter, and give them free rein to do anything. The city's Jewish community was and still is on Wenceslas' side. They need a warning.
We do not even have enough men to...
Marquardt, could you spare a few men for a while?
Of course, sire. I'll assign them to Eric. He'll take care of it.
So you see, all you have to do is make sure the city rebel get their share. You could at least manage that, couldn't you? And if the thought should cross your minds that you would get rid of the debts to the Jewish moneylenders this way, forget about it. Your debts will remain, up to the last groschen. Only now you owe us directly. And while we are on the subject of money, has the yield from the mines finally matched last year's?
Sire, the deposits are dwindling, and mining is becoming increasingly difficult. And to make matters worse, the miners started rebelling.
Don't take us for a fool. They'll stop rebelling when you pay them proper wages.
Your Majesty, we can't do that.
Silence! How dare you oppose the kingdom's protector? You're a bunch of incompetent sycophants. Chicken shits. Not any better than the scum hiding in the forest.
I apologize, sire. I'll do everything in my power to...
All I hear from you over and over again are excuses and prevarication. And results? None. I therefore place the city council under the authority of Sir Marquardt von Aulitz, who is present here, with immediate effect. He will make sure you finally do your duty.
But, sire, that would be a violation of the privileges granted to us as a free mining town.
Silence! I am the only guarantor of your rights. You have to earn your privileges, not hide behind them. During my brother's reign, this idleness was perhaps tolerated. But that is over now. You were given a few simple tasks. But instead of working on them, you idled in the baths and lined your pockets. And let the traitors cast their nets undisturbed. But unlike my brother, I am capable of creating order. And I assure you, I do not distinguish between those who stand in my way. Be they beggars, noblemen, or city councillors. You have 2 weeks to restore order in the city and increase mining output. I want clear results, and you answer only to me and Sir Marquardt von Aulitz now. No one else. The council is dismissed. You, don't go anywhere, boy. Be so kind and remain here. Our throat has become rather dry. And we still wish to speak with our friend von Aulitz.
Yes, sire. As you wish, sire.
Between the two of us, Marquardt, was I not perhaps too harsh on them? And speak candidly, we have had enough of false flattery.
Sire, you were harsh, but rightfully so. These councillors, they need to be shown their place. You suffered their insolence for far too long. And the same is true of the Jews.
We know. Otto repeated to us several times that it was time to strike against them. We are glad he's not here. He would be intolerably self-satisfied if he knew we had to meet him.
Boy, can't you see the king's cup is empty?
You tend to us as if we were infirm. Boy, pour us a monastic wine. The monks had a good year. We have concerns, friend. The Hungarians are rebelling. Our army is falling apart, and we have enemies here on all sides. Would we had a proper army instead of human mercenaries? They cannot be relied upon. And we are no closer to our goal now than a few months ago. Thank you. It is real. If our father were still alive, he would have been astonished by the massive few years of Wenceslas reigning over us. With a single word, he would have put the nobility in their place, and the country would flourish. God grant him eternal glory.
We won't need much more time. We'll arrest the traitor Odorin, and the rest will fall in line.
You say the others will be brought into line, but what do you know of them? We know only a few of them. But there's a fortress standing on every damn hill here. What side are their lords on?
We'll find out soon enough, sire.
If only Wenceslas were not such a stubborn ass, and relinquished that throne that he has no use for anyway. The nobility, on the other hand, found a ruler like him very useful. They made a puppet out of him.
Once you restore order, they'll join you. All you have to do is promise them the privileges they lost during Wenceslas' reign.
First, they'd have to be willing to make peace, at least among themselves. Jobs does everything he can to sow chaos, so that he himself emerges victorious in the end. This business makes me thirsty. Pour me some of that red, boy.
Besides when it suits him.
Maybe. But first I'll have to conquer a few more cities, and get a couple more lords on my side. Then they take the threat more seriously. And Hungary. If Bohemia is a wasp nest, then Hungary is a viper's lair.
You will follow in his footsteps, sire, as soon as you get the chance.
But the wine is good. To your health. And to your health too, boy. May your children grow in the land ruled by a good king.
Thank you, sire. You are too magnanimous.
Why? You did a good job. You can be proud of yourself.
To your health, Your Majesty.
First, we need to crack down on the biggest troublemaker.
We're working on it. While the council was meeting, Von Berghoff and his men set out for Rabosh. Alderaan won't give you any more trouble.
He and Ruthard are in it together. Once we get hold of him, we can handle Ruthard easily. Rabosh will be yours. Afterward, Otto has what they will need.
I appreciate your confidence, sire.
There are a lot more strongholds to cover.
For the king, red wine, boy.
No, we shall have white. We have had enough of it.
White it is. Quickly! If Rabosh falls, others will follow.
I think von Berghoff's little contraption will find its use again.
If need be.
Not so fast, my friend. It's a wondrous tool, but we can't rely on it forever.
To bring it here to the square and point it at the city hall? Those sycophants would only benefit from a warning like that.
The councillors are quite fearful enough already that they can hide nothing from us.
There's been enough fretting, sire. You shall see.
You are right. And you, boy, will you drink with us?
To victory, sire.
To today's, and those of the future.
Damn it. The name is unpronounceable.
And when those two girls...
Another important...
Something about it here.
Ah.
All right.
About the Sigismund.
Drink to that. King Wenceslas.
I don't know about you, but I barely stand. And to
Sword
stand
is
over
purely
you-
ornament.
Défense of Gutenberg was just big.
How'd you like a wine?
The art of wine recipes are passed on from I myself, even the king himself had wine.
I expect his lord.
Best this wine.
Baku.
Not a bad. I forgot.
Have you lost your hearing?
Not Sigismund.
The sooner he's gone.
Until then, Sigismund's men can trample over us.
And let's...
Bloody expensive horse.
And when it comes... They won't.
I am Botcher.
Trying to agree on something.
I'd like to drink a toast with you.
So touching, Carl. I never. Well, maybe we'll see.
Only, fuck, well,
His lord. I had my hand left. You can bet I don't.
I remember someone saying something.
Understand? Kronstadt doesn't care enough about our plan to get his old arse into the saddle.
Well, we right about Sigismund. The sooner he's gone, the sooner life returns to this country.
I don't know about you, but I can barely
About the
stand.
girls? Or the piglet? Until then, Sigismund's men can travel by bus one after another.
I wouldn't despair just yet. Let's drink and be merry. What do you do?
Oh, yeah. Keep going.
Other than maybe an old pinch person.
Strong words. I thought your Alishka was brown-haired, though.
I had thoughts.
About the girls?
Trying to agree on something they won't remember in the morning.
He'll shit himself and run back to Hungary.
And why would he do that? If he was so craven from the army thing.
The draft horse. There are a few of those around my mind.
I beg your pardon.
Palace, anyway.
It's pronounced.
Greetings.
And with you?
Just look at him.
But you can hardly stand straight.
Good. God be with you.
Don't be a coward.
I am far too old for some sentimental courtship.
You're amusing. But you know my answer. Appreciate your friendship. But
Of course it's a horse.
Not a bad one.
Strong words.
With grief. The roast was calling out.
I forgot. A little while ago. I was sneaking around with the widow of Bartok.
With Anna of Fox. When those two girls came.
Do that.
girls? Or the piglet?
Sorry.
From cleaning...
I've come...
Reed.
Where?
Do you play dice?
You mean...
You strip if you like. Either way, you'll end up better.
All right.
First army that crossed his path.
Curious to see
He
you
would never
play.
have made it all the way here.
But this won't be just any army. It will be an army like the likes of which this country's never seen before.
You're living in a dream world. It's only going to be a scarecrow to keep Sigismund from murdering the lords one by one. If an open battle breaks out, it'll be a fucking bloodbath.
You sure know how to
Have
light
you lost your mind? You're going to lose everything.
I'm telling you, give it a year and Sigismund will be gone.
And I'm telling you, we won't get rid of him that easily. Everyone's being too hopeful here.
You're talking bollocks. Once Yobbs raises an army, he'll sit himself...
Now I'll
and run
show
back
you
to
how it's done.
And why would he do that? If he was so craven as to run away from the
now we'll
first
see.
army that crossed his path, he would never have made it all the way here.
But this won't be just any army. It will be an army like the likes of which this country's never seen before.
You're living in a dream world. It's only going to be a scarecrow to keep Sigismund from murdering the lords one by one. If an open battle breaks out, it'll be a fucking bloodbath.
You sure know how to lighten the mood. I'm telling you, give it a year and Sigismund will be gone.
And I'm telling you,
you're not
we
afraid
won't
of
get
anything.
rid of him that easily. Everyone's being too hopeful here.
You're talking bollocks. Once
Let
Yobbs
it be
raises
now.
an army,
I want to play
he'll
too,
sit
you know.
himself and run back to Hungary.
And why would he do that? If he was so craven as to run away from the first army that crossed his path, he would never have made it all the way here.
But this won't be just any army. It will be an army like
Hopefully
the
I'll
likes
do it
of which
again.
this country's never seen before.
You're living in a dream world. It's only going to be a scarecrow
And
to
now
keep
I'll fuck it all
Sigismund
up.
from murdering the lords one by one. If an open battle breaks out,
Your
it'll
turn.
be a fucking bloodbath.
You sure know how to lighten the mood. I'm telling you, give it a year and Sigismund will be gone.
And I'm telling you, we won't get rid of him that easily. Everyone's being too hopeful here.
You're talking bollocks. Once Yobbs raises an army, he'll sit himself and run back to Hungary.
And why would he do that? If he was so craven as
There,
to run away
that
from
turned
the
out all right.
first army that crossed his path, he would never have made it all the way here.
But this won't be just any army. It will be an army like the likes of which this country's never seen before.
You're living in a
That's
dream
enough for
world.
me.
It's only going to be a scarecrow to keep Sigismund from murdering the lords one by one. If an open battle breaks out, it'll be a fucking bloodbath.
You sure know how to lighten the mood. I'm telling you, give it a year and Sigismund will be gone.
And I'm telling you, we won't get rid of him that easily. Everyone's being too hopeful here.
You're talking bollocks. Once Yobbs raises an army, he'll sit himself and run back to Hungary.
Good game.
And why would...
Farmyard beast!
Sigismund will be gone.
So from... I've...
Do you play...
You mean...
You strip...
All right.
Talking bollocks. Once
I'm
the
surprised you
observations
dare
are
to play
made,
me.
He'll sit himself and run back to Hungary.
And why would he do that? If he was so craven as to run away from the first army that crossed his path, he would never have made it all the way here.
But this won't be just any army. It will be an army like the likes of which this country's never seen before.
You're living in a dream world. It's only to be a scarecrow to keep Sigismund from murdering the lords one by one. If
That's
an
enough for
open
me.
battle breaks out, it'll be a fucking bloodbath.
You sure know how to lighten the mood. I'm telling you, give it a year and Sigismund will be gone.
And I'm telling you, we won't get rid of him that easily. Everyone's being too hopeful here.
You're talking bollocks. Once the Obs raises an army, he'll sit himself and run back to Hungary.
And why would he do that? If he was so craven as to run away from the first army that crossed path, he would never have made it all the way here.
But this won't be just any army. It will be an army like the likes of which this country's never seen before.
You're living in a dream world. It's only going to be a scarecrow to keep Sigismund from murdering the lords one by one. If an open battle breaks out, it'll be a fucking bloodbath.
Here's hoping.
How to lighten the mood.
Hopefully I'll do it again.
I'm telling you, give it a year and Sigismund will be gone.
And I'm telling you,
And now I'll
we
fuck it all
won't
up.
get rid of him that easily. Everyone's being too hopeful here.
You're talking bollocks.
There, that turned out all right.
An army, he'll sit himself and run back to Hungary.
And why would he do
Now
that?
I'll show you
if
how
he
it's
was
done.
so craven as to run away from the first
come
army
on.
that crossed his path, he would never have made it all the way here.
But this won't be just any army. It will be an army like the likes of which this country's never seen before.
You're living in a dream world. It's only going to be a scarecrow to keep Sigismund from murdering the lords one by one. If an open battle breaks out, it'll be a fucking bloodbath.
You sure know how to lighten the mood. I'm telling you, give it a year and Sigismund will be gone.
And I'm telling you, we won't get rid of him that easily. Everyone's
enough for
being
me.
too hopeful here.
You're talking bollocks. Once the Obs raises an army, he'll sit himself and run back to Hungary.
And why would he do that? If he was so craven as to run away from the first army that crossed his path, he would never have made it all the way here.
But this won't be just any army. It will be an army like the likes of which this country's never seen before.
You're
Well,
living in a dream
you're not
world.
afraid of anything.
It's only going to be a scarecrow to keep Sigismund from murdering the lords one by one. If an open battle breaks
Mother
out,
of God!
it'll be a
What are you
fucking
punishing me
blood-
for?
I need help with something. I mean the ones with the really good wine.
And your one.
I should say so.
Anyway, I don't know nothing about no wine. Try asking my...
We won't get rid of him that easily. Being too hopeful here.
You're talking bollocks. Now,
and why would he do that?
An expensive one.
Come here, boy.
Put it away. Put that weapon away. Ah! For God's sake! What? You injured her? God!
Sick!
Guards! Guards!
To be eaten.
Stultorem mater, sempiter gravida.
Screeching?
Jesus wept.
Sorry. I need help. I mean,
And you're...
It's not for me.
I see. Anyway, I try asking... I've got some more wood downstairs.
Sigismund will be gone. And I'm telling you, we won't get rid of him that...
That the name Busa signifies higher value?
Yes. Anyway, looking at him closely.
God be with you, my friend.
Greetings.
There are a few of those around my mind.
How about...
What game would you...
Let's...
I hope Lady Luck will be... Side.